guys, so today we're going to have a bit of an inbox review of our old Academy kit here. This is the SR71A Blackbird. Now this has been around for a while, this kit, so don't be surprised there's not a great deal in this box, guys, but it is not a bad kit for what it is, for its age and stuff like that. I have seen a few of these built up over the years, and they can come up quite nice if you spend the time on them. This one here I'm getting rid of out of my stash to buy some newer stuff. Hence a lot of the reviews lately. I'm putting up a lot of reviews to review them before I get rid of them out of the stash. But anyway, guys, we're going to go through this and have a quick look. As you see, the box art's quite nice on this thing. It's a beautiful looking bird, this thing really is. Absolutely superb, so sleek. And on the side here we've got a few pictures of her built up. Some model is built up. It would have been a test build. On the other side, just a bit of information and another built up one there. And as you see, she's just a beautiful bird, this thing. Now we'll open the lid up, we'll have a bit of a gander in here, and the first one we've got is the main part of our wings and fuselage. And as you can see, they're all done in one big piece. Okay, so you've got to put that, the top and the bottom together, and you've pretty much built nearly the whole bird. But one of the things in this kit, guys, the panel line engraving that's in them is quite nice. It's not overdone, it's not underdone. It's quite sufficient for what it is. I know some people say that they're verging on trenches, but they're really not that bad for the age of the kit. Some of the older kits that came out around this era were absolutely horrendous. The big trenches that they had gouged into them. By the time you put an undercoat and a couple of coats of paint on this and weather her up, it'll be quite nice. But all the details in here, all the striping, the heads, the panel edging, all the vents, all that sort of stuff, it's all in there, and it's really, really nicely done, guys. Very nice and fine. But as you see, just the shape of this thing, just a beautiful looking machine. So here's the top part. There's the part you'll spend most time looking at when she's finally built up. Now, one of the things, there's an actual little plastic knob that comes out there, part of the moulding process that has to be taken out. But everything else is not bad. Actually, there's another one up the front there. I forgot about that one. There's another one up there as well. But everything else on there is really nice, guys. Nice and crisp. And yeah, those little ones on there, they'll come off in the sanding. They're only little tiny ones that are on there. They're not big standout knobs like these ones here. You can see a bit of discoloration, distortion looking stuff on these back paddle here, but it's actually not. It's just the plastic. There's like a pattern engraved into the plastic. It's not actually, it's not embedded there. You can't feel anything there. So it's just a colour distortion there. Little tiny cockpit holes in there. As you can see, it's not a giant cockpit by any measure. She's fairly tiny, but yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just love the shape of this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. So again, guys, a little bit of work, and this does come up to be a really, really nice machine. Okay, so here we have our one big sprue that's in here with our landing gear, our nose, our exhaust, and again, it's all nice. The cockpit's very, very plain, guys. Don't expect anything too flash. There's no gauges on these panels. It's all done with decals to do that. Landing gear and the wheels are all moulded into one, which is fine. You just sort of take your time when you're painting it. The only thing that's disappointing about that is obviously there's no gap between the wheel and the landing gear up through here. But you know, it's not something you're probably really going to notice that much anyway. I mean, I have seen people actually gouge that out, drill that out with a really fine head on a Dremel and go through and gouge it out, clean it up. But honestly, it's a lot of work, and if you get it wrong, you'll have a flat spot and you'll try and fill that and yeah, all that sort of thing. So honestly, I probably wouldn't worry about it. I'd put a bit of black paint in there to make it look like it's shadowed in that area maybe, to get rid of that. But yeah, it's not too bad. Again, the panel lines, now these are the only places where I can see the panel lines do look a bit overdone on the wings there. They do look a little bit trench-like. They appear to be a little bit bigger than ones on the fuselage. But you know, again, once you paint it and everything, that's fine. All the landing gear flaps here, nice rivet going on, but there's some injector pin marks that you can see there that have to be taken care of. And they're in a spot where if you try and sand them out, you're going to get rid of that rivet detail. So again, it's something you just got to take your time, think about how you're going to get those out of there, and it'll be fine. And you know, I mean, they are in a really bad place, but it's just something you have to look at with some of these older kits, some of the work that you have to actually do to get them to come up to scratch. But that's the only sprue that's in there, except for our little clear one. There's your canopy. Now the canopy's not too bad on this. It's a little bit cloudy. It's not like a lot of the newer stuff. It is a little bit distorted when you look at your finger through it and things like that, but it's not overly bad. We know some of these older kits, they're just awful. They're so distorted and thick and ugly. These aren't that bad. They're not up to scratch with some of the modern stuff, obviously, but they're not overly bad. They're quite okay. Little blank sheet. Here's our decals now. As this is what I was saying about the dash, all your panels and everything, they're all done with decals now. There's no colour in those, they're just black and white. So if you want to add a bit of colour, you'll put those on, then put little bits of colour in there if you want to add some colour. The decals themselves are fairly fine. When you take it out, you can't even feel any raised edges on them. They are quite nice. They're nice and flat to the surface, so they should go on there quite nicely, guys. They're just, when they're getting a bit old like this one hasn't quite done it, but I have seen another one where it's starting to yellow a little bit and the colour's getting a bit distorted and faded. And I know when the guy went to do it, the decals all fell apart. So be very careful with these older ones, guys. Okay, so our last step, guys, is going through the instruction books now. On the front here, you have a bit of information about the bird itself. And then inside, your entire construction is just that one sheet. So she's a fairly simple build, guys. And up the top here, first thing we got is the inserts going in for our cockpit there. Then we got step 2, some of the cockpit stuff going together, seats, all that sort of thing. And then step 3, you've got the bottom and the top, and you've got to put your cockpit in there. The nose cones going in for your intakes there. Step 4 is the start of the exhaust systems, then the exhausts themselves and the tail planes, then landing gear, then the back rear landing gear, and then your canopies and nose, and that is it, guys. A very, very simple build. The thing with making this bird stand out is the actual paintwork. Now, because it's like a flat blacky colour, I've seen people hit it with flat black and that's it, and it just looks like a black blob. So be a little bit artistic with it. Do a bit of research online. There's some people who've built this and done some absolutely beautiful work with it. So do a bit of research online. I've seen some done with the bare metal finishes as well. What I would probably tend to do is the bare metal finish first, and then do black, like different tones of black, like sprayed across the panels this way, in different tones and different variations in it. It looks like it's starting to wear through. You can almost see the silver back underneath, the bare metal underneath. I've seen that effect and it looks quite nice. But just painting it flat black, obviously, guys, that's just awful. And by also doing an off black colour, you can get some bit of panel line stuff happening as well to make those pop out at you as well. On the back here, we've got our decal call outs and your colour call outs, obviously, and there's not a great deal to those either, guys. They're very, very basic, very simple. So that's all you've got, is just one sheet basically folded in half, and that's everything that's in there. So now, guys, that's pretty much the end of that review. Like always, check my links out down below there. Give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that, and like always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.